Okay, so my name is Faith Emmanuel. I am a girl child advocate. I have an NGO, which means it's registered, and I am the executive director. This NGO is about mindset orientation and reconstruction for the girl child. So this is most of the work that I do right now. I went to the University of Ilorin, studied history and international studies. I have some certifications I don't like to talk about, but I mean, let's be humble, please. Yeah. Yeah, so I think that works. Faith is just a girl child advocate.
Right. Is that all you do?
Ooh, okay. So I'm a growth enthusiast. So
Okay.
I coach young people. So a lot of people are like, okay, you're doing only girl child. You're being biased. But I'm not being biased. I'm just staying in the nature God has called me to.
Actually, I'm still coming to that part.
I know. It always happens.
All right, continue.
Yes, so I am a growth enthusiast. And what that means is I want people around me to grow. And so it led me to do researches about why people do not maximize their 20s. Right? This is a season where you're supposed to be learning some things. And I realized that especially for people who are in rural environments, or who grew up in rural environment, there's a lot of things that we don't know. I say we because I come out of the same place. Right? I grew up in a rural environment, and I know firsthand. I got lucky, or God blessed me to have gotten some opportunities that helped me leverage and get to this point that I am right now. But it still doesn't take away the fact that I know how hard it was for me to come from that place and compete amongst people who we tag as the high and mighties, who basically had all they needed to have, right, even from a very tender age. So this led me to want to bridge the gap of ignorance, especially with young people. And I want to really see young people maximize their potential. So I started to coach people generally on personal development. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Thank you for that introduction. So maybe I should let me start from. Actually, I have a lot of questions from everything that you said.
Okay.
One after the other. So I want to ask that why advocacy? Like, why are you championing the cause of that particular in that particular direction, if I would say, because I believe that you're a young girl, and I know you're a young lady. Actually, I know
it's fine.
It's still the same girl child too. So I know a lot of opportunities are outside there. There are a lot of juicy profession. There are some, let me call it, like some people will target. There's some kind of less
opportunities that you have more glory and less to do, less work to do, right?
Yes, like some people will call it more less tedious and more decent. What they call profession. Yes, actually, I intentionally use that word because some people feel like you have to put yourself through a lot of problems, issues, poke nose, do a lot of things to get something solved in this direction that you've chosen, actually. And some people feel like there are several other things that you just continue to have your baby girl for life, that kind of of the studying that, making your money in a cool way, having to go to the beach, you can understand. So it's actually predictable if you chose some other part of life. So why are you passionate about this? Why did you decide to do this? Why are you going this direction? Even though it looks somehow unpopular to some people, and like I said, not really is kind of sustainable stuff, as it were.
Okay. So firstly, disclaimer, I like soft life. I like baby girl life.
Okay.
Yeah. And your question, why did I decide to go this route?
Yeah.
Most of the times when when people ask me this question, what I say is, God sees us more than we see ourselves. And I would explain. I'm not trying to go all spiritual, but I mean, He's the author of your life. He designed you. So He knows exactly what is written in your manual from beginning to end, because He wrote it. Yeah, so I wanted to be a lawyer from the beginning. I'd applied to study law severally, but didn't get in. And I didn't used to like having female friends, for the reason that you know how ladies can be, gossips, too much trouble. All my friends were guys when I was growing up. So for when I first got the leading work with women, hey, my God, I fought it a lot. I said, where? Who? Me? I don't even have one female friend. Where do I even start from? I don't want to do this. But I realized that every time that I saw a young girl, a girl child that wasn't confident, every time, please hold on. Sorry. Is this okay?
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Yeah, so every time that I saw a young girl on the road or somewhere and she's not confident enough, it affected me. It made me feel like, my God, why are you like this? Would you just use your voice? Would you just speak up? Would you just do what you have to do? And then I would just hear something in my spirit, like deep in my heart, tell me, if nobody teaches them, they can't learn. And I'm like, they should go and get teachers and let them teach them. It first started with resentment. Like, I would just be angry. Sometimes I won't confront them. My friend, talk, speak up. If you can't talk, get out of here. Don't talk to me. Like, or something like that. And then I listened to some people talk about feminism, and I was like, what kind of rubbish is this? Why would you even be talking about a concept like this? Just follow what the order of things is. A man is the head, a woman is. So what's the problem? Why are you fighting and struggling, right?
Yeah.
But I started to research, because that's how my mind works. Once I don't understand something, I start to research about it. And then I realized a very huge gap in the girl-child advocacy space. What people call feminism and understand as feminism is even wrong. Like, it's not defined. Everybody's just running with anything that they care to run with. And I said there need to be a mindset orientation. There has to be someone who's willing to stand and correct this anomaly. Like, make it proper that this is the standard, this is what it is. And then I started to research the concept of the mountain of influence, right? And I saw that everybody has like a particular place that God has called them to dominate and use their voice to stamp a particular, what's the word now? Dominance on it. Stamp a particular, what's the word now? What am I even saying? Okay, yeah. Stamp a particular, like, let your foot be on the sandprint of that particular mountain, so that anybody who comes there knows that this is how this thing should be done. Right? And then I told myself, if everybody is complaining that, okay, this is not right, so who is going to make it right? Are we all going to join our voices and complain about it? And then I told myself, okay, I want to do mindset orientation for the girl child. And then that's how we started. Knowing nothing, actually, taking no course. It was just sheer passion, just a desire to see girls upgraded in their minds, just a heightened dimension of knowledge, just knowing what to do. That's what I wanted, and then that's how I started.
Wow,
yeah.
That's actually comprehensive. I'm sure anyone listening to this will know that okay, this is something to this is the summary of purpose actually. Like, the summary of purpose. And let me just go in that line. Okay, I believe that running on this particular course, you should just share a few of your struggles, maybe from the point of acceptance, like I it's not something popular, like especially around this part of the world. You don't just sit doing it all alone, try to just pull through like that, because everybody is just like, what's your own? You understand? Like, everybody will be like that. You get so. Can you just share a bit of your struggles, maybe the things that some might still be present anyway, that you're still battling with in terms of people, in terms of even yourself, maybe anything, struggles carrying out this particular assignment.
So I remember the very first time that I got the courage to voice it out that I was a girl child advocate. I was in 200 level in the university, and I said, my name is Faith Emmanuel and I'm a girl child advocate. They're like, what? I said, I'm a girl child advocate. Like, what did you say? I'm like, I said, hey, now all these people, they let when they teach girls, they know they cook for their husband, they follow their husband Jack. Why would you want to do that? Like, that was how we went to. The conversation was around me the whole day. And because it was my first time really speaking about it, I mean, I've always had a passion for people generally. So I would do outreaches on my birthday, go to orphanages. If there was like how usually most things that people who do girl child advocacy do is share pads around, sanitary towels for young girls. I would go with them, do the drive, clothes and all. But when I said I wanted to be a girl child advocate, what I wanted to do was education beyond the four walls of the school for rural girls. That was like my major, just them upgrading their mindset. So when I said it, I kind of explained a bit. They're like, what you're trying to do is impossible. First of all, who will fund you? Second of all, do you think that these people will allow their children to come and be listening to what you want to tell? The major thing people had, and they were telling me, was I was just going to waste my life. Like, I should go and get something lucrative. If I don't want to go to school, or if I don't want to really pay attention to being a professional at anything I'm doing, I should just go and learn a trade or something so that I can focus on it more, and maybe then I can start teaching girls tailoring, and that's even understandable. But doing this, so I laughed, and he was really discouraging. But after I finished laughing, I went back to the drawing board, because I knew it was God that told me. I heard it clearly. I knew. So I told him, I said, Shebi, you see, I told you from the beginning that if I as much as get one opposition, I'm not doing it again. Like, you better tell all of them to like start helping and all. That was the first one. Then the second one was when we were going to do our first project. So there's something I believe in. I believe that we have to be many to influence change. So if only me is wearing a particular hairstyle, it might not influence. But if you come into a department, let's say English department in school, and see all the ladies wearing shuku, for example, you shall be like, what's going on here? Why is everybody wearing a particular color of dress, which is red or blue? Like, what's going on here? So it takes a lot of people to make influence louder. So I said we were reaching 800 girls in Ilorin. I was like, 800 girls. What do you want to tell them? How will you control the crowd? This is your first project. Start small, or maybe you should deal with 2 girls. I said, no, this is what I want to do. I want that number. Said it was impossible. I said, no, and I started project. There was no money, there was no funding. That was the major issue. Again, I went back, give me strategy, Baba. Now you say maybe go, give me strategy. I want strategy. And again, I didn't choose the numbers myself, right? I prayed about it and then I got that number. So I put it out there. We had done publicity without even having a dime. Like, we had set the date for the event without having a dime. Everybody was just asking me, when are we going to the market? What are we doing? I said, don't worry. And then with that event came, we did it and it went. Another struggle I had, this is the last one I will say though, let me not take all the time. Another struggle I had was imposter syndrome. Right? So I don't have any certifications in girl child advocacy. And I also had no education in that line. You know, like, it's in Nigeria, this is almost like a new field. There were not so many mentors, people that were doing mindset orientation for the girl child that I could go and meet. Like, okay, what do you guys do? There were a lot of people doing girl child empowerment. There were people doing gender-based violence activism. Yeah. There were people doing like these other things, but I didn't really see anybody really investing in maybe leadership for the girl child, upgrading their mindsets as regards entrepreneur. So I didn't really have a mentor. So when people say, oh, this is my mentor, I didn't have it. So I had to gather resources from different angles, right? And I'm still doing that. It's still a struggle, but we move, right? We move.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Those are the major things that I was actually expecting those you mentioned, because, like I said, it is a normal thing for let me say Africans generally to attack such things. So those are the challenges, and I don't know, maybe probably you still encounter more, because the more you get the more you get
around the mountain, right?
The more people will feel like, why do you decide to do this? But it's that's just a process. Actually, there's something after that. All right, let's move to the girl child. So like I told you, I was going to ask that why the girl child are not the two, because boy, you understand. So one thing that I actually noticed, maybe over time, and due to my own personal research too, I just feel like I know that the girl child has been neglected, but I feel like the boy child should also be carried along anyways, because I feel like everybody has their struggles on each side. One actually might be more than the other, but I feel like is it that it's not part of your jurisdiction of assignment, or is just that okay, you're just passionate about girls, or it's just that's your specific assignment? So I want you to just say something.
Okay, firstly, I am someone who loves humanity. Okay. I have like a very deep desire to see people evolve into better versions of themselves. Almost all the people I have around me, they know. Faith is that person that will tell you, oh yeah, go and do this, do that. Like, make sure you're moving. If we're in the same circle, opportunities will always come your way. If I find it, I will send it to you. There's no way you apply. You must do it. So yeah, that's something that really stands out for me. So when I get this question most times, I just laugh, because the vision for FEGI Global, which is the Faith Emmanuel Girls initiative, covers there's a part where we do a he for she. There's a training we do where we just talk to boys alone, right? But it's still under Faith Emmanuel Girls initiative. But the reason why I'm not heightening that a lot is because when we started out, we wanted to have an arm of the initiative, which would be for the boy child, right? but we didn't get enough representation. We didn't get enough people who were willing to take it up, because we needed guys to do that. There are things that are peculiar and sensitive to guys that a lady would never be able to handle properly.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's the issue with people who come from single parents, maybe single dad, single mom. And so we didn't want to run something like that. So we needed people who were competently trained, like, enough, and we didn't get that. And I didn't want to bring in amateurs. I had risked it with myself, and I saw how much work I had to put in, how much constant upgrading of myself I had to do to get to the point where I could ease into what I am doing. It's not easy. Okay. I can tell you that there are days I just feel like, I beg. This thing should just go and sit down in one place. Let me do
I understand.
something else that will fetch me money. But it might just be as simple as I'm going out to work and I see a young girl by the road. Something just tells me again, God, help this person, do this. And I'm like, what's this now? Let me rest. I can just be going on the road and see a very random girl child on the road, and there's a need in my heart. I already know the next project we're supposed to do and in what community. And I'm like, so yeah, the thing is, I have a couple of people. I have two of my mentees right now that are really interested in boy-child advocacy, and they have started. There are a few people doing that. May 16th is mapped out as the day for the boy child now, right? So that's the day for the boy child. And so I've gotten a couple of people who are under training, not me training them, but I'm helping them from some other people who have shown interest, and they seem to be higher. So it's a new field. So it means these people are going to have to rise up as faces of this field. They have to start developing curriculum for young boys, maybe in specific locations, maybe on drug abuse, maybe on Yahoo vices, different things, just for the Nigerian boy child, because his whatever is wrong with him is peculiar to him, and whatever needs attention is peculiar to him. So yeah, we're doing that, and I'm giving my support, because I really am of the opinion that we cannot keep focusing on just girls. I mean, we have a lot of people in that field already doing stuff for the girl child, but are they really doing specific things that the girl child need? I don't think so. I don't think so, because I also don't believe in just, okay, we're giving you guys sanitary pads. After that, then what? Okay, if you get pregnant, we're getting rehabilitation homes or something where you can. Why don't we do preventive? Because I believe that if someone's ignorance is dealt with, there are things they won't do normally anymore. Right? So why don't we all join hands and come to this place where we can maybe have a crash leadership course or an in-depth training on self-esteem for the young girl, courage, if we had funding, I really, really wish that we could put up an academy where, just like maybe the Godly Leadership Center now, where young girls can come and learn for free some etiquettes for life generally. So you can be on a 1-year course, 2-year course when you close, especially for rural girls. I'm particular about rural girls, because some of these some of these urban children, they already have these opportunities. Their school offers some courses, the extracurricular courses, which actually helps them begin how to talk, how to carry yourself. They teach them these things, right? But then who pays attention to the rural girl? And then they end up doing something, and they are like, okay, why she go carry belle? This one, why is she not go carry belle? There was nobody there. Do you get? I'm not justifying it, but if we could help out in a certain way, we should. I'm not doing girl child because that's my area of calling. I'm passionate about growth for everybody. So if today I get an opportunity, I really find competent people, I honestly don't mind partnering. Do you get to execute projects that can help the boy child as well? Yeah.
All right. Oh wow. Thank you so much. Okay, because of the time, let me just ask. I have like two other questions, so let me ask one.
Okay.
I believe with your experience, you will have encountered several girls with several issues. What would you say is one most important thing, like generally, that is a problem of girls? Let's say rural girls, actually, because I believe that I don't know. I just believe that they have more issues, due to the ignorance, exposure, resources, and attention. Actually, maybe level of enlightenment and all that. So, what would you say is the problem of the girl child? Like, I'm not saying internal problem. I mean,
no, that's fine. I get you.
Major issue that they encounter that you probably are trying to tackle. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Yes, major problem for them at that phase of life that attention to be paid on it. Okay.
A lot of attention needs to be paid on parenting for rural girls.
Okay,
parenting for rural girls, because a lot of these girls, they don't know a lot of things. Yeah, there's a huge knowledge gap. So you see them willing to settle for some things. For example, I recently had to deal with an issue where, not really it came to me, but there's really nothing I could do. A girl consented, and it was consent to sleep with a guy because she needed to get food, Chicken Republic, like a pack of food for 700 naira. Is it 700 or 500? Do you know if that person has a proper orientation, they will never reduce themselves to that? Like, if you see worth in yourself, there are some things that you never accept. It's just like all of us that are professionals. There was a time where you were willing to talk at a meeting from morning to night for no cost, but then at some point you realize the worth, and they will give you 250k. You still say I'm not available. Is worth. Once you upgrade, you get once you understand your worth and you upgrade your mind, there are almost some things that nobody needs to advise you about. You just naturally know that this isn't for me. So I see that gap with parenting. It's a very big issue. And the second thing is, I just really, really think poverty is another issue. Yeah, there's some things I don't want to say, but it's just maxed in two of these things I've just said. It's just, it's hard. It's sad.
Oh, all right. I was even hoping you would talk about education, like maybe their level of education. Maybe that's not primary.
The truth is, once someone is poor, they can never get a proper education.
Okay, that's true.
That's why I said there are a lot of things maxed. The education, of course, is what the orientation problem is. Because if they are in school and they are in some kind of schools, see, have you been to a rural school before, like a rural community school before?
Yeah.
We've done outreaches in some of these schools, and we've seen even the teachers come here, Joe. Can't you see there are people in your school? Just can't you behave? Like the way they even downplay, like speak on them. Like I don't know how to explain the way if your own teacher batters you with words, how are you learning? What are you learning? What are you being educated about? So you go around having a low self-esteem. Just your life is just let me just continue. Let me just you get. So like it's the poverty is a lot. It causes just a lot, and that education, we better not go there so that we'll be able to close this podcast. Yeah, but really that's why I'm passionate about education beyond the four walls of the school. There were people that did not get like a proper school education, but got some kind of education, and their lives are better. I'm telling you, really. I'm not campaigning against education. Of course, please go to school. It's a way for you to move your life forward. But beyond going to school, there are things that you need to learn. as well. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Faith. Okay. I have a question, but I'm trying to see way to structure it. I believe that you can't do this alone, and what I mean by that is, as much as you do, the child will always return back to the family.
Yeah.
He is one of the most important agents in the society, and beyond what you're teaching a child, they go back to a family. What is it called? Beyond the education you're giving a child, they are going back to a family that can give them a miseducation. You understand? That reorientate them in another direction. I don't know. Is there something you can say? Maybe one of the things that parents can do, because your voice can be loud, but as much as it is resounding, there is another voice that is more familiar over time, more consistent over them. Like you mentioned the other time, like their teachers, their parents, and all that. So is there something you want to say in that direction? Maybe there is a way parents can do some certain to pay some certain attention to something to also help the work that it's only they're just doing it and it's not pulling out the best result.
The truth is, there's only so much we can do, right? And hope that God helps. I'm going to say this now. I don't know who is listening, if the audience are largely spiritual people, but I'm a Christian and I understand the power of the Holy Spirit. For everything we ever gave out, we prayed on them.
Yes.
There was a time when we did some 3 days investment prayers, like we were just praying back to back on the items. God, every one of them that touches this item, their heart just learns of you, like they understand, they know what to do, they know, because we know that there are some people we will never be able to reach. There are some people that are broken deep down beyond anything that we can't, words will not do it. Our English language will never be able to do it. We can only just try to sow the seed. Oh, we've gotten, let me just give this example. I went to a boarding school in Gwagwalada. Gwagwalada is an area council in Abuja. And we went to speak to over, I think, some 700 girls. One of the parents called me one day. I just thank God. So we give them these gift cards. We always make sure we leave them with something. Finance is not very available most times. So sometimes we can't even go with a lot of materials that we want. But since we're pushing mindset orientation and reconstruction, we always leave something with them that can help their mindset, even by themselves. I'm writing a book recently and it's going to be addressed to parents of the girl child. And we hope to get those books across to parents in rural communities so they understand some of the things they are doing and not doing. And then sometimes some of our outreaches include outreaches to parents. So we get resource people to speak to the parents, people who have parented kids and they've shown a track level of progress. We let them speak, come just help them, and then we have these Q&A sessions where the parents ask questions, something they've always wanted to know about parenting and all. But this particular day, I'd used all my money. So someone promised to give us money for the project. Hey God, though, sure, don't put your trust in men if you're listening to me. This is very important. If you're planning to start projects or anything. So they promised to, we'll sponsor this project. Don't worry, how many kids we're going to do everything. 2 days to event. They're not forthcoming, and we need to plan. We need to prepare. So I saved money for my phone. I think it was 110,000 at the time. I had to put it into the project. Not because we had already put words out, but because I didn't want to, what's the word now? I didn't want to let the girls down. I think that's the word. They were excited. Before you do a project, you have to go and map around, get survey and stuff. They were happy. Auntie, please bring this when you're coming, that. So I just put it in. And that particular day, the money never came back. Honestly. The person didn't contribute or anything. So my money did that project. Thank God, God's money is not my money, Sha. He gave it, so if he asks for it, we can give it to him. Yes, so that particular day, this woman calls me. Hi, I am Lydia. Yes, Lydia. I am Lydia's mom. You came to our school. So the gift cards we gave them had our phone numbers on it. And it was an affirmation card that says you are enough. You can do anything you put your mind to do. And we told them to keep it with them and never lose it. That it was our gift to them to keep rehearsing, saying it to themselves and all. I didn't know that was something very big, because that's what we could afford. The mom called me and said, "Thank you so much for transforming the life of my child. I am very grateful." This was a boarding school where they didn't have phones, but she got home, gave it to her mom, spoke to her mom about what we had told them, and the mom said, "Because of what you people taught my daughter and she has come to tell me, I'm going to let her go and learn tailoring now, so that she can also have," do you get, like, these little things. So most times when we talk to the girls, we also tell them to go back home and tell their mom that this auntie said, don't send me out at night. I'm a girl, something can happen to me. This auntie told us that we should tell our parents that they should always tell us that they love us. So they go back and tell them these things. Do you get? We know that the impact might not be much, but there's only as much as we can do until we trust that God helps us get to a point where we can actually go around and do outreaches basically for parenting and how to parent the girl child. But trust me, I have gotten some feedbacks that I'm shocked myself, that how did you make our little water become this mighty ocean? Like, it's great. It's great.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm really grateful. Okay, let's just do this one question and then we'll go. It's not actually a question, but like I said the other time, that there are several agents in the society that contribute to the growth of a child. And I believe that beyond just interacting with them in class, beyond just what their family do to them at home, they also have a peer. They have those they play with. They have their environment influencing them every single day. So it's something to everyone that will be listening. You know, some in one way or the other, you have a girl child, either as your sister, as a neighbor, as what is it called? As a street neighbor, or somewhere just around you. So, what is the role of everybody in making sure that the girl child is safe, secure, is supported, and is helped to grow?
The role of everybody around the girl child is, I beg you, please just be sensitive. Please just be sensitive and be passionate about it. Be passionate enough to help. Oftentimes I come back from work and maybe I'm passing the area, because I live in an area, and I see maybe two girls and a boy just talking. I mostly will ask, "Oh, how are you? Are you good? Is there something you want to talk about?" I know why I'm doing that. I'm interrupting that conversation for them to know that this is inappropriate, and again, there could be more for you. So I let them have that opportunity where they can feel like they can come and talk to me at any point. This is what all of us can do too. If you look at them and say, don't be my pikin now, leave them now, all these children, that's how they used to do. That's how they will do. Your child will also be looking at that and thinking that that's the norm. You would think it's not affecting, like you think this is just, it's not about me. It's not about me. I don't have a business there. She will give birth, maybe go and get pregnant out of wedlock, give birth, and they will come and still burden you with, "Please help us with food." It will be your concern one way or the other. So it's better that as a person, uncle, auntie, pastor, whoever you are, if you are around the girl child and you have the girl child around you, please be sensitive and pay attention to them. Don't ignore them. Don't ignore them. Don't like, it's not my business. And because that's the attitude a lot of us have around this thing. I used to do an orientation Instagram live for what to do around the girl child. I had to stop because of time and all, but you asking this question now, I think I need to resume doing it. So yeah, I think that's just the little I can say for now.
All right, thank you so much, Faith Emmanuel. Thank you for coming up. Actually, I think we'll still have to set up another time to do another one, because from this conversation I have a lot of questions. Actually, yes,
this always happens.
Yes, I have in line with the girl child and the safety of the girl child, actually. And I actually have a foundation. The reason why I'm particular about this is that I have a foundation, and one of the projects that we are currently planning is actually a campaign, like a school tour, like that. We've been planning it from since June. We should have it in June, but we could not, because we wanted something a little solid. Wanted the conviction more, more concrete. So it's actually a campaign against sexual assault around these Ilorin. We know that most people that are prone to that particular either sexual abuse and both verbal abuse, mostly sexual abuse, those in that that age bracket, those young girls, especially the female child. The male child, I know they go through it, but the female child most especially, they are endangered species, especially at this particular. And one of the things I want to also tackle, which I said I will still engage you, maybe probably one time like that, is that this this child marriage, it's all there are a lot of things to talk about on those stuffs.
Exactly. Girl child is wide, so you just have to pick a niche.
Yes, actually. So thank you so much for coming tonight, and I hope, like this, I hope I will call you again. You'll be willing to
yeah, sure.
Share the thoughts.
That's fine.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for your time as well. I enjoyed having this conversation.
All right. Okay, see you.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.